What's up guys, David here and welcome to the Fit Pro Daily. This week is all about adding automations into your business to either make everything a little bit more streamlined or to really give you more time back. And we've got no better way than starting with Joe McNee coming on, and he's going to share with us how his business Fit Logic helps put automations into your business so you have a nice smooth flow and it gives you back a load more time. Anyway, enough of me talking, let's dive straight into today's guest speaker. Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. Today we've got Joe on. Joe all the way from Scotland, also in lockdown like us here in Wales. Joe, how are things?
Hey, not too bad, mate. So getting by. It's been snowing here for a couple of days, so it's
Yeah.
if you could go, you probably wouldn't want to.
And that is the thing, we kind of got to look at this lockdown as it's just a short-term thing now. Once we've come out of lockdown, we've got the whole road ahead to keep progressing with the business. So I thought it's a good time to actually get you on, because today we're going to talk about getting systems and automations in place to, like you say, potentially save up to 10 hours a week, which sounds like a massive amount.
Yeah, it probably is, but if you think about, the amount of time that you procrastinate doing the admin jobs that you don't want to do but need to do, if you can kind of take that off your plate and focus on client results, whether that be online, offline, you're going to get better results, more clients, more money, but not doing any extra admin work.
Perfect. Okay. So we start every episode off usually with asking about where it is you came from. How did you get into the fitness industry? So let's kind of start from there. How did you get into the fitness industry yourself?
Probably when I was at uni is where my kind of interest grew. And I actually went to the gym along with a couple of guys because there was nobody left to go to the pub with because they were at the gym. So I thought, we'll go to the gym. And then kind of yo-yo dieted up and down for a couple of years. Joined an independent gym, which was a huge difference because I was actually a human being and not just a swipe card number. Started talking to the guy, started boxing, fighting, and then from there try to take care of my own fitness, and then it led to people asking me what I was doing, how I was doing it, and then it slowly transitioned into a side hustle. I don't really like that, a side hustle, but doing it on the side from my full-time job of teaching, and then it's grew to the point where I kind of coming out of lockdown, decisions will need to be made whether I kind of stick with it and keep it small, or I'm at the stage to progress it and potentially leave my full-time job.
Yeah. So, and at the same time then, or is it recently you've started launching Fit Logic? Is that what it's called at the same time?
Yeah, so Fit Logic, which is like the third part of everything, probably grew arms and legs round about Christmas time. Mostly from own necessity. I mean, like I'm still working full time as a teacher, and I know we got these super long holidays, but it's not as easy as as it looks. Plus the coaching, plus I've got 3 kids, so working from home, just sometimes going into work, coaching calls, face-to-face sessions with clients, try to manage it all, organise it all, plus survive 3 kids. I had to make sure it was as easy as possible.
Yeah. Okay, so let's dive into it then. You're saying we can save 10 hours. How do you want to go today? Do you want me to fire you questions, or have you got some sort of big, long thing that you want to talk and work your way through?
I mean, I could talk gibberish all day. Being a teacher, that's kind of what you're paid to do. But it's probably better if you can ask me questions, because then I can pinpoint how individual help. Because the thing with Fit Pros is there's so many different ways of doing it. There's no right or wrong way. And I'm not going to tell anybody that the way they're doing it is wrong. What I do at Fit Logic is I take what you currently use and just enhance it and make it automated and automatic. For instance, I'm a big fan of PTD and PT distinction and the power it has. Other people are into True Coach. Some people use Google Sheets. There's no right or wrong. It's what works for you. So probably rather than me going down a spiel of here's what I do, and you kind of people watching this going absolutely zero use to me because I don't do that, probably better looking at probably in a general term, and then if anybody's got any questions about what they can do, then I'll happily answer them.
Okay, so let's start with the word systems then, because we're going to talk about systems and automations. And I'm guessing systems and automations, there is a difference between either one. When it comes to systems, what is it you actually really need to focus on to really smooth your business, or as people say, systemize your business?
Probably the process of what you want to happen versus what you need to happen, and then matching up with what the client needs to happen. So often in our head, we have this grand picture of everything, but sometimes we've got overkill. That's what you want it to be like, rather than what you need it to be like, and it doesn't always match up with what the client needs. So it's taking a step back and kind of almost putting yourself in the client's shoes from start to finish. How do they get into your world? How do they know about you? So that's your know, like, trust that you go on all about. And then when they're in there, what happens? What is their journey? And it's making it so that every client will go through the same journey. When they sign up, they get the same onboarding email. And that is the system. Like, what happens, that journey stays the same. From lead tracker to so on. And it's systemizing it so that you know every client gets all the key information that they need for your business.
Yeah, that makes sense the way you explain it about a journey, because like you say, when they come in at the top, it's not a case of they get confused or lost, or you get confused and lost yourself. If they follow a set path, and that brings them into the sales consultation from not knowing who you are on Monday to speaking to you on the phone on Friday, you've pushed them through a funnel or a system that gets them comfortable.
Yeah, it's almost like systemizing key parts. So you systemize your kind of know, like, trust content, so you've got the system of, on a Monday I post this, on a Tuesday I post this, so Transformation Tuesday, systemizing that so that on a Tuesday, you know what post is going out. You're not having to think about it. You're not having to, and then so you've got your kind of know, like, trust system. Then you've got your onboarding system. How do clients get into your world? And that's when your kind of onboarding emails, your sales call come into it, and then you've onboarded them. What happens for the time they're with you? What journey do they get? And making that automatic is just the automations, but knowing what you want to happen at certain points in that client journey is probably the key part, because you can't automate what you don't know what you want to happen.
Yeah. And again, that's super key. It's like you say, putting these systems in place so you don't have to keep thinking about what to say. Like if you're putting your system, like you need to send a text message after somebody opts in, it's not a case of coming up with a brand new text message each time with a completely different structure. It's just one text message that you copy and paste, and it's the same over and over again. So it's not taking a load of additional time, not taking additional brain power. It's all systemized and smooth. I'm guessing that's it.
Yeah, that's it. It's almost taken all thinking out of it, because you've already done the brief, you've already thought about it, you've spent the time, and it is sometimes a chunk of time to really dive in deep into your business. But then on the other hand, it's like invested time, and then after a week or two, you've got that time back plus all that extra time you're saving.
Yeah, so you can definitely see the hours you save straight away by putting the task that you need to do over and over again into a system where it almost automatically happens. So let's move into the word automation then, because that is a bit different to the systems. What are you talking about when you say automations?
So making things happen automatically. So you kind of touched on, when a client signs up or onboarded, you automatically send them a text message. You go in, you copy and paste it. You can totally even remove that 30 seconds and streamline it so that literally as they hit, you hit confirm on their sale, that text message has already been fired to their phone, or that email's in their inbox by the time you're finished getting off the phone to them. And then that obviously starts, and then you can automate your system. So once you know your steps that the client's going to take, you can make each step automatic. So every month I have a monthly coaching call with my clients, but they get the reminder sent to them. So whether they start on this day or that day, every 28 days, they're getting the email saying, book a call, let's chat, let's see what's going. And then I just get a notification saying, David Kyle's booked a call, and I just have to phone you. There's no back and forth of finding a date and time. It's all happening in the background. Because I'm a nightmare for not stopping work. Like, I'm always wanting to work. So rather than back and forth, I know the work is happening. I just don't have to be there.
Yeah. Like you say, it's key because there's automated the text message does the automation. Instead of you having to do it over and over and over again, and you finish a PT session, you've got to send all these text messages, and you dive back into another PT session. We've been working all day, and then you need to go home and send all these automated, these manual text messages. By putting this automation in itself, it saved you the tasks that you may have even forgot about or forget that you need to do automatically happen.
Yeah, 100%. It's the forgetting. You know, you imagine yourself when you kind of sign up to something, and somebody goes, "Yeah, I'll send that over in a wee hour," and then they never send it over, and you're like that. I mean, am I getting this? I paid this amount of money for it. What's happening? Whereas if you sign up a client and they automatically get "Oh, I'm so glad you're on board. Here's what I need you to do," and then they're like, "Oh my God, so excited!" And you're totally removing buyer's regret. Nobody's going to ask for a refund because they know exactly what they need to do. They know what's happening. They know that you're in the background building their program out, or sorting the nutrition. They've got your getting started guides. They know what they need to do so that when you phone in or email in 2 days' time, everything's already there. It's just a matter of getting up to your sessions or whatever you need them to do.
Yeah. And like you're saying, getting these systems and automations in saves you hours or gives you back hours. But I think at the same time, it also makes you look more professional than your competition. Because like you say, if someone's just signed up and they automatically get a welcome text message, and then they get a welcome email series and these all additional things, it's like when they go and when they sign up to these major companies where they get all these automations happen in sequence. So they buy and they get the rest of the product followed on. They don't have to wait hours and hours and hours till the business owner comes back and ticks the box to make sure they get it. So I'm guessing it saves you hours and it also makes you look more professional.
Yeah, and it probably makes you more money. Do you know what I mean? If you if you know you're automating a gift to be sent out, or a phone call, and you don't have to go home at night after 14-hour days on the gym floor or whatever and send all these emails, it means you can kind of get a better sleep, look after yourself, improve your quality of service, and then your referrals increase, or you've got more time to focus on getting more clients in, making more sales, rather than the shitty admin stuff that no business owner signs up to fucking do admin work. You sign up to coach and help people.
Yeah.
And then if you can do that better, more referrals, like I say, more time to make sales, focus on the stuff that grows and moves your business forward rather than kind of stagnating, swimming in admin, paperwork, lead tracking, whatever it may be.
Yeah, it just makes your business more efficient. It runs smoother because you're not forgetting anything. Everything's done specifically at the right time, in the right order, so you can focus on what you want to do the best. So we've talked about systems, we've talked about automations. How does all this happen? What tools and software do you need to look at to make this type of stuff work?
So again, it's individual for each kind of PT and the individual software. But I think what people need is some sort of call booking software. So your Calendly, your schedule ones, your creative, because that automatically saves the back and forth of when are you free for a consultation call. You just ping them the link and they pick the time that suits them based on when you're free.
There's nothing worse than that. You like say to someone, when you free, and they say 4 p.m. Like, oh, I've got something on at 4 p.m. Can you do 5? Oh, I can't do 5. And like you say, you're going backwards and forwards. But I'm guessing sending that calendar booking.
Yeah, and it gives you control of your hours because you decide when you're available on that. So if you know you're coaching or whatever, you can just block that off and say, nah, nobody's contacting me. I'm focusing on this work, that work, and then they can book around it to suit them. So that's probably one of the big ones in terms of saving the back and forth messages. And then if you forget to message, it just looks crappy from a kind of customer point of view.
Yeah.
Some sort of application form to pre-qualify leads.
Yeah.
It also really helps because then you can kind of funnel them into a much warmer leads tracker. So from kind of cold leads are maybe liking a few things, you're out there looking for them. Warm leads as they've actively filled in and engaged with, 1 or 2 steps, so they are very interested in what you're offering, so you can target them slightly differently.
Yeah.
Some sort of emailing software, in terms of, again, that kind of keeping leads warm. So kind of the setup I've got, we use, somebody comes in to my ads, they download what they download, they stick in an application form, and automatically they're just pinged with results. I've got clients. So I mean, if you sign up with me, you're getting A, X, Y, Z results.
Yeah.
And then the next day it's another client result, their story, and they're like that. And then you're like, oh my God, like how, and then they're looking for how they apply and how they get a call with me, and you just add that in, book a call, let's go. That also works for kind of colder lead generation. If they don't sign up with me, they just get added into my main email list and just get pinged with emails 3 or 4 times a week. And then every so often you try and bring them back onto a call. Again, there's a question popped up. I'll get to that question in a wee minute. Where was I? Call software, applications, email. For me, something to take payments and automatically take payments, like get paid for your work. This is something I've struggled with. Oh, I'm sorry, things that you're asking to be paid for the work you've carried out. So some sort of payment processor where you can set up automatic subscriptions so that it's happening automatically. Money's getting taken. You're not worrying about chasing folk. You know what's coming in each month. And then you can plan your life accordingly with the money that you know is coming in.
Yeah, let's kind of go on that point a bit more. To anybody that is kind of like still taking payments on the session, or you're getting them to pay cash weekly or monthly, we really need to be stepping away from that and get it automatically transferred as a standing order, a direct debit, however you want. Because like Joe was just about to say, if you've got 100 people paying you £100 on the start of every single month, you've got 10k coming into your bank, no matter what else happens in that month at all. Okay, you could have no leads, no sales, no nothing, but you've got 100 people paying at the start of every month. You know exactly what you've got coming in. So sorry Joe, that's like a key point people
No, it's massive. It's so massive, and it also stops you kind of getting ghosted. So I use Moonclear and then linked with Stripe. So for them to then cancel that, they need to go through me. So if they go, I need to cancel, I can go, well, why do you need to cancel? And then you just start that customer relationship and you keep that going. You need to cancel because the dog needs to go to the vet. My mother-in-law broke her hip, and right, okay, well what I can do is, why don't half your monthly membership, and you come to half the sessions, and then next month we'll pick it back up, and you're totally solving their problems. You're keeping them in your world, so you're not losing out on a client, and you're keeping that lifetime value.
But even at the same time, on that point as well, if somebody is leaving, and we do this for the Fit Pro portal, and it makes such a big difference. If someone hands in their notice, we offer them the opportunity to pay half price for the next 2 months, because either there's 2 ways that can happen. They'll pay half price for the next 2 months and then want to stay because we've managed to convince them to stay, or they just won't stay and they want to leave anyway and they plan to leave, but we've just managed to get 2 additional half price payments for just doing that extra email to say, oh, but here's a special offer for wanting to stay in. Yeah.
And it's almost like a customer client care thing. If you've got problems, let me know. My job is to help you. Okay, it's your fitness and nutrition and whatever. But if you're leaving because you've got this whole family thing on, well, don't stop caring about yourself. So pause payments, move dates slightly to coincide with.
Yeah.
And then they're still in your world, and they're like, oh my God, he genuinely cares. And then they stay longer. Therefore, you make more money. So if you're not bringing sales in, you still know you've got X, Y, and Z.
Okay. Have you got a 5th one just to make it finish on a decent number?
Zapier. That's the thing that connects them all together. That is the glue that lets them all talk to each other. So when somebody signs up, Zapier pings to ActiveCampaign or your email provider, and starts that process of saying, welcome to Fit Pro portal, welcome to Train with Joe, welcome to XYZ gym, here's what I need you to do. So Zapier's probably the most important one.
Yeah.
In terms of connecting, it doesn't matter roughly what software you've got, it'll connect with just about everything.
And that's literally what we've got set up for you. So when your ads go live, a lead comes in, we've got a Zap turned on. So it goes straight into your email software and automated text message into your Google Docs. So you can chase the leads and all these other stuff. So it saves you so much time by putting that in place. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, mega. And it means I can go back and, as leads, I can go and add notes to them and say, chase this person up. So that's the way you can kind of then go into the more manual thing of really warm leads that you can say, how's things going, and start a personal conversation and get them back into your world again and try and kind of keep selling them.
Okay, so let's just go to Junior's question quickly. What booking app would you suggest?
To be fair, they're all much of muchness. I use Calendly and I use the kind of lowest paid version because it allows you multiple different call bookings, so a consultation call or a coaching call. You can kind of differentiate between the two and the length, but they're all much of a muchness depending on the process. If you want to start taking payments for consultation calls and stuff, you need to upgrade. But if it's just for one call, the free version of everything works well. Calendly kind of integrates with everything and embeds into websites really easily. The paid version is pretty cheap and has a bit more functionality with group bookings and things like that. So you can use it to book sessions, group sessions, whatever. But personally, I use Calendly.
Yeah, that's exactly what we use as well. Okay, so we've talked about systems, we've talked about the word automations, we covered 5 tools that you would definitely recommend. Let's look at the key areas of your business where you think automation is vitally important, or the systems automations is vitally important that we add in to key areas of the business itself.
Probably client onboarding, because that's where you are going to answer your frequently asked questions before they're asked. In terms of what do I need to do, how do I log in to X, Y, and Z, how do I do that, how would I track my food, you can cover all that in your onboarding so that you're not getting bombarded with 3 and 4 messages from new clients saying, what do I do now, what do I do, because you know you've got it already covered. And if you can say, if they go, how do you know this? You know, and say, well, don't worry about that today. That'll be covered in tomorrow's email or Thursday's or in 2 days' time. All that, I just need you to focus on what email 1 is telling you or whatever. And then as more questions get asked that you've not covered, you just add them in. Do you know what I mean? That's an ever-growing thing that's going to save you time. As what about X, Y, and Z? If it's asked more than 3 times, boom, stick it in your onboarding.
You know what I mean? I think the onboarding part is so important for most people. If you bring somebody new into your world for the first time, they've just paid you, you need to convince them that they've made that right choice, they've made the right decision. If you're leaving them hanging, leaving them confused, leaving them unsure, not knowing like how early should they turn up for sessions, what clothes should they be turning up to sessions, where they find your nutrition plans, where they find all this type of stuff. If you just left them hanging, they won't stay around for the long term. But like I say, Joe was saying, get these systems automations, things that they ask the most often, put it in a nice sequence that gets delivered automatically. It saves you time from having to answer all these questions over and over and over. And it gives the client a nice, smooth experience of being in your business.
Yeah, that's it. It just lets them feel valued from day one, that you are kind of looking after them. Park here, wear this is how it works. Can't wait to see you. Make sure you say hi. If you get any questions, reply to this email.
Yeah.
And that's when you know when you need to add. That's where frequently asked questions will come in and missed that bit, cool, add it in. So I think one of the big things about automations is when it's set up, it's not finished. You can continually, the more you automate, the more you will repeat other tasks, and then you can automate them. So kind of start with taking a step back, looking at your onboarding. What do you repeat? Right, okay, automate that. Once you save that time, you'll find yourself moving on to tasks that you repeat, and then you can automate them. And before you know it, your whole systems are flowing without you touching anything, and you've got the time to do what you actually love doing.
Yeah, I think that was a key thing. Like you said, if that question gets asked 3 or more times, that's a question you need to add into your onboarding system. But then at the same time, if it's a manual task that you have to keep doing over and over again, and there is a way to make it automatic where it does it all for you, then do it. Don't be having to redo that same thing over and over and over again. Try and find a way where you can make it automatic. So let's talk about the manual side of it. What things do you reckon we shouldn't automate? We can automate it, but you think we should keep it manual to have that the actual real life person experience? Is there any you can think of?
Probably it's things like program design. I'm kind of thinking, online individual. You can't, if you're offering a service of personal training that has to be personal, you have to, from your onboarding, from your part queue, build that program to suit that client's needs, their goals, what they're capable of. So that's one that I personally would just not automate whatsoever in terms of keeping that, you can do squats, but in your programming squats, but they've quickly told you in their onboarding that, they've got really bad knees, and you're like, so for me, that's the personal side. But that also, you've got that free time to really dig deep into the kind of each individual client, so you are making it personal. Probably any feedback from coaching calls. There is an element of automation. So one I'm working on for a client now is she takes notes on paper, files it, types up an email, sends the email, and then stores it digitally as well. And I'm like, that's like, you're doing the same thing 3 times. That's 3 times. So what I'm going to set up for them is on the coaching call, she's going to type her notes into Slack. And then Slack's going to ping all members of the private channel an email summarizing that message. So she's getting an email, so she's got an email copy. Clients get an email copy, so they know what their action points are, and it's stored into Slack as well. So it's your kind of digital storage, rather than doing the same task 3 times. So although the coaching call is individual and the action points are individual, you can automate what happens after that. So that's kind of 50-50 one for me there.
No, that's good. Okay. So to finish then, is there any final key things that people really need to know about when it actually comes to systemizing and automating their business? Is there anything or final suggestions that you think they should do before actually diving in and having a go at it themselves?
Make up dummy accounts. And then if it goes Pete Tong, who cares? I mean, like, I do it all the time when I'm bored. I'm like, right, what really cool things can I do with 2 softwares that I see people using? And I just try and see what is possible with it.
Yeah.
And then if I'm like, oh, that looks amazing, then I'll keep that one. If it's like, oh my God, that was an absolute mess. So one thing I looked at briefly was using Google Sheets to track Facebook ads metrics, cost per clicks and stuff. And it was really good until I really wanted to drill down deeper, and it became hugely messy. But I was just using like throwaway accounts, and I just binned that.
That's so key. We've seen them before, and you've definitely had this situation before where you've put your email address into somebody's email follow-up series, and when they send an email, it says hi name. It doesn't have your name. It has brackets name or n name or something, and you're like, didn't this person check before they sent that email out? So like, you have to test these things. You can build that system
100%.
You haven't tested
it. That's one thing I do. So if you kind of sign up for me to do your systems, like, you'll probably get about 7 different variations of my email address jumping into you to test how it works. And then if it doesn't work, then I know where it's not working, so we can fix it before it goes out there kind of public.
Yeah.
Testing is like, probably there's 2 things I would say that you need to do. You need to take a step back from being in your business and kind of, or spend a week writing down every single task you do when you do it. And if the same thing pops up over and over, automate it. And then test everything more than once. Try and break it so you know where things are going to go wrong and fix them.
Perfect. Cheers, Joe. So for people who are interested more about automations and systems, and maybe a little bit about what it is you actually do, where can they go and find out a little bit more about you?
So probably my Facebook page, which is FitLogic Training Systems, or you can just drop me, is it slide in my DMs? Is that what the kids say? Slide in my DMs on Facebook. I am on Instagram, but I'm not overly keen on taking random photos of walls and trees and dinner to post. So find me on Facebook. I am in the portal as a client of coaching, so I do still coach, so I do fully understand the needs of kind of coaches and gyms. I do have my own gym as well, which is currently shut, buzz in. So yeah, I'm still living the dream of being a coach as well as doing this on the side, so I totally get what people need, what they want, and then if I can spot an opportunity to automate something that you've not asked for, then I can kind of let you know and add that in.
No worries. Joe, appreciate your time today. Thanks for coming on, and everybody that is listening, if you do need to know more about Joe, just go and check him out on Facebook or his page from there. Joe, again, thank you for coming on, mate, and I'll speak to you very soon.
Right, catch up with you later, mate.
Cheers, mate. So that was Joe from FitLogic. And like he explained, if you can get these automations in place, you really are going to save so much time in your fitness business and also make everything a lot more streamlined. If you want to check out the videos from last week, make sure you do click these videos here. Or if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do that by clicking that big red button below. By subscribing, you'll never miss any of the future episodes and you'll always be up to date with what's working when it comes to your fitness business marketing.